Hi guys, we're back for another video from the lab at my OBGYN. We have been coming to this lab what seems like forever. And this video I want to discuss how long it takes to have a miscarriage. Spoiler alert, a very long time. I had my miscarriage. My baby was 8 weeks along, and there was a heartbeat at 6 weeks and at 7 weeks, and then at 8 weeks there was none. I go to Carrie OBGYN, which you can see back there in the background. I have been coming here since, well, when I was pregnant, I was coming to the lab once a week to get my ultrasounds done. And the ultrasound is in the same building with the same girls as the lab work is. Once you get a miscarriage, you have to get a lot of blood drawn to ensure that you in fact did have a miscarriage. And my blood type is negative, so that also caused some issues. So I had to get some shots done for that. Now we are 10 weeks past the miscarriage, and that means that I have come up here about, in the beginning it was once a week and multiple times to confirm the miscarriage, and then after that once a week to track my HCG. Now we are about 10 weeks past, and 2 weeks ago my HCG was at 3, and 2 weeks before that it was at 6, and a week before that it was at an 11. And so today it's another 2 weeks past, and we're hoping that it's going to be a 0. I have my blood drawn today, and hopefully it will be down to 0. Now, I had a miscarriage at 8 weeks, and so my HSG was above 100,000, and it has to get back to 0 for you to be able to ovulate and have your period again. I am 45, so I have been quite concerned that all these hormone changes could set off something in me that causes menopause, and I might not see another period, which would be devastating for me because I have frozen embryos and I would like to go back and have those implanted. But in order to do that, you have to be able to have a period, and you have to be able to create a lining, and then the shedding of that lining is what your period is. So you have to be able to create a lining so that your embryos will stick. That is not something they can do in a lab. So I am very eager for my HSG to fall, and unfortunately it's been happening at a snail's pace. Like I said, we're at 10 weeks now, 10 weeks post miscarriage, and they say that it can take as long as it took to get your numbers up to get them back down to 0. So I had my miscarriage at 8 weeks, and so they expected me to be 8 weeks when I got to 0. Sorry about all the traffic, guys. I didn't expect it to be this busy out here at this time of day. But I think things are closing, so it is kind of busy. Maybe we'll switch spots. So after my body realized I was having a miscarriage, which took some time because with an embryo transfer, you are on synthetic hormones. So I had to discontinue those, and my body had to realize that I was having a miscarriage. They call it a miscarriage because just for me, the heartbeat just quit, and that is what signaled the miscarriage. It wasn't blood or anything. So I had to discontinue my hormones, and that took some time. And once that happened, my body realized that I was having a miscarriage, and my HSG started to drop pretty rapidly. And that's what causes the hot flashes and the night sweats and all that stuff. So that started happening, and we were testing my body to make sure my HSG was continuing to fall, and that was once a week at the lab, and it was happening pretty rapidly. And then it got to a point to where it just stopped. The bottom numbers were just moving so slow. So I was just really worried about that and hoping that it would be over quickly. I just had erroneously assumed that once the bleeding stops, you'll go back to normal. My doctor had told me, we can give you the mifepristone and we can make it faster, or you can have a D&C where they cut it out, and that would be even faster. But I just am one of those people that wants to do things naturally, so I said, let's just try the natural route. And she said, okay, it's going to be slow. And I just thought when she said slow, she meant that I would be bleeding for a while, as in like 2 weeks instead of 3 days or something like that. I don't really know what I thought, but I did not think it would be months till I got back to normal. So here we are, 10 weeks past the miscarriage, and I'm still not back to normal. So I have not seen my period since the month before I had my transfer. And obviously I had the transfer and the embryo stuck and it worked and everything was fine until the 8-week mark when I had my miscarriage. Before that, I was having pretty regular periods and everything was okay. So now I have not seen a period in, I'd say about 14 weeks, maybe more. It's been quite a while. So I am worried. But we did just go get the blood test, and hopefully it'll be down to 0. My hot flashes have stopped, so that is a positive sign. But the problem is, and why I came up to get another blood test, is my last HSG test was at 3. My doctor said you should start ovulating and have your period after that. Of course, the ovulation is the shedding of the lining, so you have to ovulate first. And online, I have seen that some girls ovulate before their HSG gets down to 0. And I would not know if mine is doing that or not, because I have been taking ovulation tests and they're always positive. The ovulation tests have been positive for a month now. I think I have ovulated because I track my temperature and I wear an Ava watch, and so it takes my temperature. And I have had egg white cervical mucus, but I have not had a period. So once again, like I said, you've got to have a period. And as soon as I do have 2 back-to-back cycles, I will probably go on birth control, and then I will go back to Mexico and have my embryos transferred. But until then, I'm just playing this waiting game, and it's annoying now. In the beginning, it was sad and emotional, and I couldn't make a video like this without crying. And I have so many videos on this journey that you can watch, but a lot of them include me crying. Now I'm just angry and annoyed and ready to get it over with and worried. And as far as videos online, my doctors have just pretty much been like everybody's different, and I have found most of the information that has been most helpful on Reddit. However, the pool of women my age doing this type of stuff is limited, and I haven't been able to find much information online of older women. And if these extreme cycle changes and fertility treatments can indeed cause you to start early menopause. So I may be in perimenopause. My cycles were always normal, but I have missed a couple. And so, I'm not really sure. But hopefully my blood test will be a 0 and there will be no products of conception, because if so, then all of this will be for nothing, because I will still have to take the mifepristone. And it could be that I'm having anovulatory cycles, which means I am creating, my body thinks I'm ovulating, but I am not indeed ovulating enough to create a lining and shed that as a period. So I don't know, it's just kind of up in the air. I really don't know what's going on right now. Like, I am 45, so that's kind of old for fertility treatments and things like this. So if you have any information on how long it took you post miscarriage and you are, geriatric, as they say, older than age 35, and also you had a natural miscarriage without using the DNC or the mifepristone, and your miscarriage came as a result of embryo transfer, please let me know how long it took you down in the comments, because I am at 10 weeks now and I am still not testing 0, and that is very scary to me. Hi guys, I just wanted to do a little update and let you know I finally did have my period. So I thought I'd just do a quick update and let you guys know how long it took. I checked my Ava watch, and if you guys don't know what an Ava watch is, this is an Ava watch. This is a cat, but this is an Ava watch, and there's many different ways to check whether or not you're ovulating, and the Ava watch is one of them. And I really enjoy the Ava watch. I've tried, a lot of different ways. You can chart, you can check cervical mucus, you can use ovulation predictor kits. There's all different kinds of ways to monitor your fertility, but I like that Ava watch because it keeps up with everything. It also tells you, like a bunch of other stats, how long you sleep, and what your heart rate variable is, and pulse rate, and all of those things, pretty much anything that an Apple Watch would tell you. But it also lets you know your most fertile days and when you're likely to ovulate. And also you can get one for about $100 used on eBay or Mercari, which is where I got mine. So I checked it before making this video. It says that I was pregnant for 8 weeks and 1 day, and then following that, counting the day that I miscarried, the first day of blood as my last cycle, I went 78 days before I started having a period, and let me just say that period, I don't even know if you could call it a period. It was the lightest of blood I've ever seen. It was bleeding for like 5 days, but it was just like I didn't have to wear any pads or anything. Like, it was just, it was barely noticeable. So that means that I had a very thin lining, and that's supposed to be normal for your first cycle. It also said that during that time, I had 1 ovulation. The Ava Watch decides that you have an ovulation if your medical parameters, if there's a peak in your basal body temperature, if there's a peak, they can determine whether or not confirm ovulation. So it wasn't confirmed, it was just a suspected ovulation, right? So, and like I said, I was getting positive OPK. My LH has been surging. So, but we'll count that as a period, and we'll say that I went 11 weeks and 1 day before my miscarriage was over. So that's a really long time. A lot of women online have said that it didn't take that long for them. Some women were ovulating the very first cycle right after they miscarried. So, but like I said, I'm older. I'm in my mid-40s, so you know, not surprised it took me a while. I was surprised it took me that long. But we're in the clear now, and I just want to say thank you guys for watching. Let me know down in the comments how long it took you. What is going on? Why is she making that weird? I think she's got some of my hair in her mouth. I brushed my hair before coming on here, and so it's kind of frizzy. But yeah, let me know down in the comments how long it took you, what your experience was, and I guess we're in the clear. We're gonna wait, go back on birth control, wait a couple months, and then try again. This experience has been heart-wrenching and tiresome, to say the least. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. There's a ton of content on my channel about the IVF experience, my time in Mexico, doing IVF, embryo transfer, donor eggs, sperm donation, progesterone. There's a ton of stuff. So check out my videos there. There's a lot of good content. Thank you for watching. Baby dust to everybody. Say bye.